Hi everyone. I hope you all are fit and fine. And also read part 1 and 2 of the chapter The Best Christmas Present in the World. Well, in my previous video, I left one question for you. That after reading the letter, what would author do with that? Let's find out the answer together. Chapter 1, Part 3, The Best Christmas Present in the World. I folded the letter again and slipped it carefully back into its envelope. Now here I stand for the author. The author folded the letter again and slipped it. Slipped it means to slide. So he slided the letter very carefully back into its envelope. It means he put the letter back into its envelope very carefully. I kept awake all night. By morning, I knew what I had to do. He kept awake all the night. All night he didn't sleep. By morning, he knew that what he had to do now. I drove into Bridgeport. Drove is the past form of drive. And drove means to go somewhere in a car. So I drove into Bridgeport. Bridgeport is the place just a few miles away. I asked a boy walking his dog where Copper Beeches was. Now there he saw a boy who was walking with his dog. He asked him about the Copper Beeches. He said house number 12 turned out to be nothing but a burned out shell. Now when he saw house number 12, it turned out to be nothing but a burned out shell. Burned out means destroyed by fire. The house was completely destroyed by fire. And shell means what? The walls or hard structure of the house. So it was only a burned out shell. It was nothing. Nothing was left in the house because it was burned out. The roof gaping. There was a gap between the roofs. The roof gaping. The windows boarded up. Boarded up means covered with wooden boards. So the windows, they were boarded up. They were covered with wooden boards. I knocked at the house next door and asked if anyone knew the whereabouts of a Mrs. Macpherson. When he looked at the house, that house, it was not in the good condition, then he knocked at the house. I knocked at the house next door and asked if anyone knew the whereabouts of a Mrs. Macpherson. Now here he knocked at the house next door and asked. Actually, he was inquiring about Mrs. Macpherson, that if anyone knew about her. Oh yes, said the old man in his sleepers. He knew her well. Now there was an old man, he was in his sleepers and he said yes, he knew about her very well. A lovely old lady. He appreciated that lady. He said a lovely old lady. He told me a bit muddle-headed. Muddle-headed means confused, fickle-minded, She was confused. But at her age, she was entitled to be, wasn't she? So, that old man, he told the author that he knew that lady, that lovely old lady, but she was a bit muddle headed, she was confused, and at her age, she was entitled to be. It means what? At this age, 101 years old. He told him now her age is 101 year old. So at this age she was entitled to be muddled headed, wasn't she? She had been in the house when it caught fire. The old man told the author that she had been in the house when the house caught in fire. No one really knew how the fire had started, but it could well have been candles. He told him that no one really knew that how the house was attacked by the fire, but it could well have been candles. But they all are just having doubts that because of the candles, because she used candles rather than electricity, because she always thought electricity was too expensive. So everyone knew that she thought that electricity was too expensive, so that's why she used candles. And because of that, they were just making the idea that because of the candles might be her house caught in fire. The fireman had got her out just in time. She was in a nursing home now. He told me Burlington House on the Dorchester Road on the other side of town. Now the fireman had got her out just in time. The old man gave him her address that she was in a nursing home now. Burlington House on the Dorchester Road. There was a Burlington House and it was on Dorchester Road on the other side of town. After reading the letter, the author put it back in the envelope. He decided to give the letter back to whom it belonged. The address was of Bridport, Dorset. So he drove to that place and found that the house number 12 turned out to be a burned out shell. Mrs. Macpherson was in the house when it caught fire. The fireman had got her out just in time. She was 101 years old and now she was in a nursing home. Now here finally the author got the address of Mrs. Macpherson. I found Burlington House nursing home easily enough. The author found Burlington House nursing home easily. There were paper chains up in the hallway and a lighted Christmas tree stood in the corner with a lopsided angel on top. Now what he saw there were paper chains. You know paper chains? A chain made of paper, links and used for decorating a room, especially at Christmas. You have seen in the festivals also, especially on Ganesh Utsav also, you have seen the paper chains on the road. People use it in order to decorate, in order to decorate the place. So a chains made of paper links used for decorating a room. We can use it for a room also, and in the halls also we can use it. So they are very colorful. There were paper chains up in the hallway and a lighted Christmas tree stood, and at the corner there was the Christmas tree. stood in the corner with a lopsided. Lopsided means with one side lower than the other. So it was little bit bent, okay? And Angel was there on the top. I said I was a friend come to visit Mrs. Macpherson to bring her a Christmas present. Now he said that I was a friend of her and I want to meet her. I come to visit Mrs. Macpherson and I have brought a Christmas present. I could see through into the dining room where everyone was wearing a paper hat and singing. So I could see through into the dining room. From there, he could see everything that everyone was wearing a paper hat and they all were singing. The matron. The matron means a nurse who is in charge of the other nurses in a hospital. So the matron had a hat on too. Even matron also wore a hat and seemed happy enough to see me. And when she saw him, she was very happy. She even offered me a mince pie. Mince means a small round pie. It contains sweet mincemeat, typically eaten at Christmas. So she offered that to the author. She walked me along the corridor. Mrs. Macpherson is not in with the others, she told me. She is rather confused today, so we thought it best if she had a good rest. Now, here the matron was with the author. She told the author that today Mrs. Macpherson is not feeling well. She was not with others because she was confused that day. So we thought it is best that if she had a good rest. She also told him that she has no family, no one visits. So I am sure she will be only too pleased to see you. She also told the author that that he has no family and no one comes to visit her. So I am sure she will be very happy. She will be too pleased to see you. She took me into a conservatory with wicker chairs and potted plants all around and left me. She took me into a conservatory with wicker chairs and potted plants all around and left me. She took me into a conservatory. Conservatory means a room with a glass roof and walls, often built onto the outside of a house. So that is called conservatory. So here the matron took him into a conservatory and there were wicker chairs. Wicker chairs means a long thin sticks of wood, okay, that are used to make baskets and furniture. Let me show you the picture. So wicker chairs and potted plants all around. So what he saw there were wicker chairs and potted plants all around. Okay. And she left him. Who left him? Matron left him. Left the author in the conservatory. The old lady was sitting in a wheelchair. Her hands folded in her lap. Now you can see it in the picture. Now see. She is sitting in the wheelchair. Okay. And her hands folded in her lap. She had silver white hair pinned into a wispy bun. Now you can see in the picture that she had silver white hair. Silver white hair means grey hair, okay? And they were pinned into a wispy bun. She was gazing out at the garden. She was gazing out. at the garden. Hello, I said. Now here author wished her. He said hello. She turned and looked up at me vacantly. Vacantly means without showing any emotion. Okay, so she was emotionless here. She turned and looked up at me vacantly. Happy Christmas, Connie. Now author wished her Happy Christmas. I went on. I found this. I think it's yours. I went on means he was continuously talking to her. I found this. I think it's yours. As I always speaking, her eyes never left my face. So he kept on speaking and he told her that I found this. I think it's yours. It means here he was showing tin box to her and he told her that I think it's yours. As I was speaking, her eyes never left my face. Means she was staring him. She was continuously looking at him as the author was talking. I opened the tin box and gave it to her. That was the moment her eyes lit up with recognition and her face became suffused with a sudden glow of happiness. So, as I was speaking, her eyes never left my face, and as I opened the tin box, here, as the author opened the tin box and he gave it to her, at that moment, her eyes lit up. Lit up means her eyes became bright with happiness and excitement. Okay, she was very happy to look at that letter. With recognition, it means she recognized that letter and her face became suffused. Suffused means there was a glow of happiness spread all over her face. Okay, I explained about the desk, about how I had found it, but I don't think she was listening. Now here the author explained everything to her, that about the roll top desk and how he had found the letter. He explained everything, but internally author knew that she was not listening to him. She was just staring at him. For a while she said nothing but stroked the letter tenderly with her fingertips. For a while she said nothing but stroked. Stroked means to move hand gently over something. Okay, so she was touching the letter very tenderly with her fingertips. Suddenly she reached out and took my hand. Her eyes were filled with tears. Suddenly what happened? First of all, she stroked the letter. She touched the letter very gently with her fingertips. Then suddenly she took his hands and her eyes were filled with tears. You told me you would come home by Christmas, dearest, she said, and here you are, the best Christmas present in the world. There were tears in her eyes, and she told him that you told me that you come by Christmas, and you have come now, so you are. It means that this is the best Christmas present in the world for me. Come closer, Jim dear, sit down. Now here the scene becomes very emotional. Actually, this old lady, Connie, she mistook the author. She thought that the person who has brought this letter is Jim himself. Means this person is her husband. And he promised her in the letter that he will come back. He will return back okay, by Christmas. So she mistook the author, she thought that Jim has come back. Come closer, Jim dear, sit down. I sat down beside her. Author, okay, I stand for author. He sat down beside her and she kissed my cheek. She kissed his cheek. I read your letter so often, Jim, every day. I wanted to hear your voice in my head. She told him that I read your letter so many times, okay, every day. I wanted to hear your voice in my head. It always made me feel you were with me. And now you are. It means she wanted to listen the voice of her husband. She said that she read that letter many times, but actually she wanted to listen to the voice of her husband. And now she said, you are with me. Now you are back. You can read it to me yourself. She told him, read this letter for me. Would you do that for me, Jim dear? She asked him to read the letter for her. I just want to hear your voice again. I would love that so much. And then perhaps we will have some tea. She told him that when you read this for me, then we will have some tea. I have made you a nice Christmas cake, marzipan, all around. I know how much you love marzipan. Now she said that I have made you a nice Christmas cake and marzipan, your favorite marzipan, and I know how much you love marzipan. It's your favorite. Michael Morpurgo. Now, dear students, comprehension check for you. Question number 1. Who did Connie Macpherson think her visitor was? Question number 2. Which sentence in the text shows that the visitor did not try to hide his identity? Do all the comprehension check questions in your notebook. The author went to the nursing home. He met the matron. She told the author that Mrs. Macpherson was rather confused that day. The matron took him into a conservatory. The old lady was sitting in a chair. She looked up at the author vacantly, without any emotions. But her eyes became bright with happiness when the author gave her letter. The author told her that how he had got the letter, but she was not listening to him. For a while she said nothing, but touched the letter tenderly. Suddenly, she reached out and took the author's hand. Her eyes were filled with tears. She felt that her husband, Jim Macpherson, had returned. She said that her husband kept his promise. She made him sit beside her. She kissed his cheek. She talked long and lovingly to him. She said she had got the best Christmas present in the world. This story has beautifully depicted the moral lesson also. It conveys that war and fight only brings sadness and humiliation all around the world. One should generally follow the path of peace for attaining happiness in the world. And if we talk about part 3 of the chapter, it came up with an emotional twist. When 101-year-old lady, Mrs. Macpherson, appeared in the story, she had been waiting for her husband for many years. And at last, she mistook the author for her long-awaited husband. I hope this story touched your heart. So it's the time to revise the hard words of the chapter. My dear students, I will come soon with the poem, The Ant and the Cricket. So, stay tuned.